Yes, good morning. It is a beautiful day. The weekend is right here. Let me say thank God it is Friday TGIF and welcome to Outnumbered on Oweleketv. My name is Ramsey Enoch and I have Rachel Abioye right here this beautiful Friday morning. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, Ramsey.
Good morning, Michael Odika.
Good morning, Ramsey. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, Michael.
Quickly, let's take you through the dailies that we have for today. A lot of headlines, but then we'll pick just a few out of it. The first newspaper that we have today is the Daily Trust newspaper, where we have a lot of stories. But then the first one that we'll be talking about is this. Nigeria, other developing countries spent $443 billion on debt servicing. And this is coming from the World Bank. Well, I don't know. But then the World Bank seems to be dishing out statistics since yesterday, if not the day before yesterday, probably because the year is coming to an end. But then, that is huge, talking about debt servicing. All right, moving away from there, this is a good news for all sport lovers, especially the NFF. FIFA approves 30 Nigerian referees for 2024 competition. Well, that's beautiful. That's good. That's a good news. Still coming from the Daily Trust newspaper. Then the fight in River State is not over yet. So many other drama ensuing. Then we have this one saying Fubara signs 2024 budget into law 24 hours after presentation. He's such in a rush. Then finally from the Daily Trust newspaper, I have this one which says Keyamo sacks 33 aviation directors appointed by Sirika. 3 writers to that story. Removal, not surprising. Roundtable. Official removed while overseas. They traveled out and before they returned, they were removed from office. Then finally, minister advised to harmonize departments. And that's the more to be taken from the Daily Trust newspaper this morning as we take you to the next paper.
Okay, so on the Punch newspaper, says 6 Rivers commissioners resign, assembly factions hold parallel sit-ins. Under that story, says APC faults Rivers court verdict, vows to petition NJC. You can find that on page 18 of the Punch newspaper. Still on the Punch, aviation agencies, 50 directors sacked, EFCC grills NCAA chiefs. You can find that on page 29 of the Punch newspaper. The big story on the Punch says reject World Bank 750 naira per litre proposal. NLC warns federal government. This is coming from the Nigeria Labour Congress warning federal government to reject World Bank 750 naira per litre proposal. Under that story says Labour says fresh price hike will lead to anarchy. Federal government insists subsidy has been removed. Finally, Tinubu government fears unrest, subsidizing fuel secretly. Marketers allege project 1,000 naira per litre. You can find that on page 2 of the Punch newspaper.
All right, from the Guardian newspaper this morning, Friday, as Fubara signs budget, 5 commissioners resign. Pro-Wike lawmakers pass bills. That is still coming from the River State crisis rocking the state. And of course, the federal government failed World Bank insists fuel subsidy is gone. You can find that on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Anxiety in Southeast. Supreme Court rules on Nnamdi Kanu today. Of course, you can find that on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. The Supreme Court will be given a judgment today on Nnamdi Kanu's case. Still on the Guardian newspaper, says Nigeria free to video photograph officers on duty. That's from the police. The Nigerians are free to video photograph officers on duty. I think this will also be a way of addressing, the NSAS protests that Nigerians took to the street, because sometimes Nigerians want evidence, of course, when cases like this happens. And now police are saying that you are free, to take photographs and videos in any incidences that the police officers are on duty. Is a good step at the right direction. That is much I can take on the Guardian newspaper. You can ask your vendor so you can get more details on Guardian.
Well, thank you very much, Michael and Rachel, for those wonderful headlines. Let's quickly move to the Nation's newspaper. From the nation's newspaper, we have a lot of headlines, but then this one is so interesting to me, right? Because a lot of retirees are facing so much in the country right now. And the page 7 of the nation's newspaper has this story saying retirees get 1.63 trillion naira under contributory pension scheme. That's a good one. I just wish pensioners from states like Benue State are inclusive. Then I also have this headline from page 5 of the nation's newspaper, which says, for peace. Ayedatiwa declares after resumption. Remember, his boss is traveled abroad for medical attention, and he's now in office. Hey, no problems. I'm for peace. I'm for peace. What were you expecting? Then we'll look at this story again. The story of Port Harcourt, River State seems to be everywhere on the papers this morning. And the big story from the nation's newspaper this morning says, crisis. 6 commissioners resign from Fubara's government. What's happening? We have some riders to that story. 27 lawmakers sit at assembly complex. Then the second rider says governor signs 80 billion naira budget passed by just 4 lawmakers. That's amazing. Well, this is the more to be taken from the headlines this morning. We will go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll hit you with the big story. Don't go nowhere. Still Ramsey, Rachel, and Michael. We will be back.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleketv. Visit our website at www.oweleket.tv for a thrilling journey. Oweleketv, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back. It is still Oweleketv, and the program is outnumbered with, well, your number one world best presenters, talking about Ramsey, Rachel, and Michael. You may be surprised why I am giving them this accolade this beautiful morning. Well, let's go straight to the big story that we have for today. It's actually big because if you've been following everything happening in River State, you will know that somehow there is a rat somewhere biting someone and at the same time blowing air. Well, crisis still rocking the River State government house, where 6 commissioners resigned from Fubara's government. In other papers, we have it that budget is being passed, all right, with the approval of just few lawmakers, just 4 of them. Then we begin to look into this story and wonder why this should be happening in this country at this very particular point in time. This brings to mind, all right, the consideration of the fact that if you were a governor and you are no longer on seat, why not allow your incumbent to rule in peace? I'm not trying to accuse anyone, but then when you see the toad jumping in the daylight, surely there's a cause. It's either it's after something or something is after it. As it is right now, it is obvious that Wike's hand is somehow in what is still happening. But the problem is this, we'll keep saying this. The people of River State, they need to be governed in peace. If a house is in disarray, how on earth would it stand? When people are not together, how can they work together? And when people are not working together, where on earth will the success come from? The problem in River State is getting out of hand. And I think this is high time the federal government, especially the presidency, wedge into this situation. Let's get this situation arrested before it gets out of hand. Because the way it's going now, everyone doing what they want. You see people defecting. You see people returning back. You see people, a lot of confusion in River State right now. But who is behind all this? What is Fubara doing? What is Wike doing? What is Tinubu doing about this situation? Well, I think it's about time I let Rachel into the conversation so that he can bring her opinion to the table. What do you think about this? The whole issue in Rivers State. Wike, Fubara, commissioners, lawmakers, demolition, the complex and everything. Saying it's no longer conducive for business and everything happening in Rivers State. What would you have to say about it?
Okay, so just before we came on set, I and Michael were talking about this whole issue, and then we were asking what party is Wike in? What exactly is he in PDP or in APC? And then Michael said PDAPC, and I laughed. And it's quite interesting, So I was asking, we have 27 lawmakers who left PDP, right?
Yeah.
For APC. And they are in support of Wike. Wike, who is supposedly in PDP. Now they left PDP for APC because they are supporting Wike. That passes a message.
Yeah.
Now we do not know what discussion or what agreement or what plans Fubara and Wike had before all of this started playing out. There's something when people are. When you're trying to get something from someone, you are loyal to that person. You discuss, okay, when I'm in Abuja and you are here, this is how we're going to do it. And you're so, oh, yes, sir. Okay, when I'm here. And you could discuss this whole thing, and then you get into power and you saw the way it is, and you do not want this person to come in again. We do not know what agreement, what plan, what discussions they've had, and all of this is playing out now. But the thing is, Wike should leave this man to rule in peace. I'm talking about the federal government. I want to come to the federal government. I read something on the Nation's newspaper. It says the chairman of the Rivers State Caretaker Committee of the All Progressive Congress, Tony Okocha, has declared the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, as the Dean of Nigerian politics, whose influence cannot be toyed with. I saw this on the Nations. And I also saw another newspaper where the federal government said they have no hand, that they're not involved in whatever is happening between Wike and Fubara. And then we have APC now coming out to say Wike is the dean of politics, whose influence cannot be toyed with. And Wike is in PDP. So I think we Nigerians, it's so clear to us, and we already know what's happening. These are politicians. It's not supposed to be new to us. If it was in another country, Wike cannot be in PDP and be putting hands in something that belongs to the APC. And, he's just controlling Abuja and controlling Rivers State at the same time. It's so clear to us. And it has only passed a message. This is a game. So we should not... It's only coming because these issues keep reoccurring, But it shouldn't be something surprising to us. These are politicians and they are playing their games. They are doing what they know how to do best. And so they should continue.
I think in addition to what you just said, the very first day that Wike was given an appointment in APC's administration, and some videos were flying, which we didn't bother to even confirm that he worked for APC somehow, but he said he didn't. You understand? But at the end of the day, we saw how he started having influence in APC, even though in PDP.
Ramsey, do you even know the funny thing? It's funny how we Nigerians fight for these politicians. When it's election time, PDP and APC, you see PDP supporters and APC supporters, they are always having clashes, they are fighting, they are doing what and what. But behind the scene, behind camera, these people are friends, these people are close. They go out there, they dine together, they play together, they eat together. So it's not about... It's the only thing is, like we say, it's politics. It's politics, and they're just playing a game. But we know that all of them, both PDP and APC,
they are intertwined.
They are like this. They are the same thing.
Let me tell you something. I even wonder if we have different parties in Nigeria. You know why? Because same people who are defecting from PDP now, they are going to APC.
Yes.
The same people in APC now, they defected from one party to APC. It's hard for you to keep recycling themselves. Hardly before you see someone who was in one party all through his political regime. You see? So these are some of the things that we look at and we say, come, why are these people cajoling us? Why are they cajoling us? Before the election, Wike was having a media roundtable almost on a daily basis, saying so many things. When he was commissioning projects, he would bring in people from APC, people from PDP, people from Labour Party, and all of that. And at the end of the day, he said he was not doing anti-party. But today, look at where he is. The case of El-Rufai. It will amaze you that even before El-Rufai stepped down from being a minister, when they had issue at the National Assembly, Wike and El-Rufai had to go and meet the president. It was afterwards that, it was after that meeting that El-Rufai said, okay, let someone else take my place, and he stepped down. So when APC say Wike is the dean of politics in Nigeria, I am not surprised.
We are waiting for Wike to come out and just announce that, oh, I'm now an APC member. We're waiting for that day.
Well, that's why I said, if you see someone dancing on the road, there may be a drama somewhere around the bush. So, Michael, this whole drama is becoming something else.
It's just interesting. You know?
Are you surprised?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. You understand that, when you have a son, understand, your son watches you what you're doing. And sometimes he knows what you can do in a situation. So, Fubara is someone that I've learned from the master, Wike.
Are you serious?
Yes, he's a good student. He's a good student of Wike School of Thought or School of Politics, because all the things that Wike was doing to Amechi and other former politicians that went to another party, the ruling party, and he was in the opposition party. I was studying. This is a man that was with you in the cabinet, in the executive cabinet. This is a man that was all being with you. This is a man that even when people said no, he's not fit to be the governor, he said no, he's your anointed candidate. You made him to become the governor. So he knows the game.
Oh, so it was Wike that made Fubara governor? He wasn't voted for?
A nomination like it's single-handedly brought Fubara. Everybody had to stay clear.
Oh, no
He
wonder.
made sure that Fubara was the candidate of the PDP in the primaries. So you cannot, he was in charge of Rivers State. He was in charge of PDP just in South.
But so invariably, you're trying to say somehow Fubara has refused to dance to the tunes.
No, Fubara is playing the game that his master would have played. He's on top of his game. He's doing what his master, he's doing what his teacher taught him. So let's leave it to Fubara. Understand? So a man who came into office, understand, as Rachel said, they may have some agreement. Oh, be giving these millions to me, be doing this to me, and all of that. And the guy came in. Listen, you gave him so many commissioners. The cabinet, the members that are still resigning, the 6 members that are resigning today are loyalists to Wike. He accepted to give you those commissioners. He accepted to everything. What's the problem, Wike? This man has been loyal. Everybody has seen the game. So, greed sometimes controls a man. I want to respect my former governor. He imposed the governor of my state. But currently, he's out of the game. He's out of the picture. He may have some influence from outside, but he's out of the picture.
Okay,
he's allowed the man to
hold your thought for a minute. Let me ask you this question. What would you have to say about godfatherism in Nigeria? Because we see situations where people come in, like you said, you just confirmed that Fubara is an anointed candidate of Wike, who is now the minister of FCT.
Not just anointed candidate, anointed sent. He was a saint.
He's student.
But suddenly he's now a sinner. Understand? The truth of the matter is that,
so what would you have to say?
Godfatherism has been in Nigerian politics, and it will still be. Reason is because the sitting governor, or the sitting president, or whoever is in charge of the resources. And you understand that hunger controls the political season. So when this man brings his money, like my former governor, I have to say it, he gave e-locks to Paramount last. He gave 100 million.
Michael, please, can you mention that?
The state.
Yes, your state.
Which state is that?
Paramount State. When Gospel Power, the current president, wanted to bring him to man that I just left, he gave people e-locks, he gave people millions, all of this. So you see, the issue of godfatherism is not just in Akwa State, as I said. In Kogi State, recently, Yaya Bello have just done his own. Go to Delta State, Okowa. So you see, these guys, just because they are controlling the people's resources, so they just feel they have to bring someone that can be loyal to them. But you see, you cannot just control a man, not just a man. You cannot just control someone in power. Yeah. Because the man or woman that is in power, understand, he knows that he's the master at that time. You step out. So there's no how Wike can get the complete
Let's be frank. Who is to be blamed in this situation? Because in the first place, you enter into an agreement you know quite well that you won't be able to keep. why then enter into such agreements? I remember what happened in Benue State when I wouldn't want to call names, when the past governor was like, okay, someone has been the one responsible for the debts that we are in because I do remit some amounts to him and all of that because he's a godfather.
He's even the one that will be able to come out to speak.
Godfather. He spoke and pulled out. You understand? But then, why enter into an agreement with this so-called godfather?
A man that is eager for power can accept any kind of agreement.
Exactly.
A man that is eager for power can accept any agreement.
But when they get there,
And when they get there, they want to change the game. It's a common Nigerian thing. So you cannot work. No, so it's not a lesson. It's not a lesson for politicians. It's not a lesson for them to learn.
Will they learn?
Well, I don't know if politicians will learn, but then politicians, if you can learn, it will be better for you. And I want to speak to everyone who is a godson, okay, to the godfathers. Try everything.
Let me become a governor first before you speak to me. I'll sign all the signable.
Please, don't enter into an agreement that you know you can't keep. But then, if you know you wouldn't keep it, and you would want to run out of it much later when you get into power, because like Michael said, someone who is eager to get on that seat, well, will be ready to do anything. We're talking about godfatherism here. Apart from godfatherism, there are so many other things that they do that we wouldn't want to talk about here right now. So what we are saying to all the politicians, the godfathers, if you want to be a kingmaker, be a clean kingmaker. Wait for what comes to you. Don't ask for it. It is more honorable, all right, when your son and your daughters are bringing things to you without you asking. So if you make a king as a kingmaker, stay back and wait for what comes to you. Don't impose on them that, no, you don't need to build hospitals. You don't need to build roads. That subvention, my percentage should be this. That money for this contract, my percentage should be this and that. We don't want that. In a climate where everything is sane, things like that shouldn't be happening. So I just want to say Wike should face FCT while Fubara faces River State. So on a final note, what would you have to say about everything now to Fubara and of course to the allegedly Wike, who
the dean,
who
dean of politics in
is behind
Nigeria,
everything happening. Allegedly,
and his
anyway,
influence
we are not very
cannot
sure.
be toyed with. That was what APC said now, and his influence cannot be toyed with. Wike should face FCT, even though some of the things he's doing in the FCT, they are looking like he's looking for trouble.
FCT say he should resign.
Yes, he should resign. So Wike now should just. He should calm down.
Port Harcourt is rejecting him. Abuja is rejecting him.
And just face something. He should stop involving in Rivers politics. It's no longer his business. When he was there, it was his business. In fact, the whole Rivers was like his footstool. He's no longer there. He should face FCT. That is his business. And for Fubara, like I said, we don't know the agreement they've had in the past, and you're coming out now to, change the whole narrative and everything. Go back to your boss if he is your boss, and come to an agreement. Settle. Apologize to your boss. Settle. If you've told him something before, you're doing otherwise. Go and settle. So that is all I have to say.
Michael.
Yeah, power corrupt and
an absolute power corrupt.
Absolute power corrupt. Absolutely. So the truth of the matter is that we always have a power play between the predecessor and the successor. But the truth of the matter is what Ramsey have said. As a kingmaker, it is honorable that you go back, retire successfully, sit back. What you want your son to succeed. So you have to allow him to succeed. The pride of every father is to see that the son succeed. So you as a leader, you as a father, you as a chairman, you as a guy can actually, step back, advise, and do all of this. Our politicians should stop interfering in new government, in new administrations. Please allow them to do their bit. Allow them to do their bit, because when you want to come and start rubbing shoulders, that's when all this fight. And the people are the ones suffering. The people are the ones suffering. The crisis in Rivers State is affecting people indirectly.
Do they care about the people?
Demolishing Rivers State House of Assembly, people who don't work, people that used to have their opinion selling at the complex will now have what to eat. So you're increasing the poverty level of Nigerians.
That's it. You're increasing the poverty level of Nigerians. And of course, You can't demolish a building that is standing very well in the name of whatever reason you want to give. So as it is right now, let's call spade a spade. Let's allow the sleeping dog to lie. And remember that Nigeria is not just for one person. It's our nation. River State doesn't belong to Wike. It doesn't belong to Fubara. If the people are not there, you wouldn't have anyone to lead. There won't be anyone for you to lead if the people are not there. So do everything possible to make sure the people are okay, all right? So that you can rule in peace. Stay in Abuja, even though Abuja people are rejecting.
Resign.
Resign. They are saying resign. There is a clamor for you to resign. But then, if you know your onions and you know what's good for the people, you will still stay on that seat. Then Fubara, do the needful and rule for the next 4 years and just leave the office. Well, this is the much we will be taking. We can't take more. The time is not our friend. It is Friday. We need to do so many other things. Well, thank you for staying very close to your screen. Thank you for watching. It's been Ramsey, Rachel, and of course, Michael. We'll be with you again, but that's going to be on Monday. Thank you and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye for now.